this is Ace here. He's a 6-month-old colt out of our stallion Tucker. He's sold already, but we thought we'd do a little baby training video today and kind of go over some guidelines for working with foals. We handle our foals from the day they hit the ground. Typically, when you have a baby that's just hit the ground, you want to be able to get out and work with them every single day, start getting them tame and friendly. When you work with a foal that young, they don't have a long attention span, so if you just go out and work with them 10 minutes every day, or do 10 minutes twice a day, if you can split it between, say, the morning and the evening, especially for those first few weeks. And then, honestly, what I'll start doing is, once they're about 2 weeks old or so, I'll start putting the halter on for short segments. You never turn them out with the halter on. You can put it on, let them start getting used to wearing it on their face while you're handling them and working with mom. And then
we don't even turn them on out as adults with halters on.
No, not even with adults, especially not with the little ones.
Yeah.
We don't recommend turning out anybody in halters. They can always get themselves injured in the pasture if they catch it on something.
Yeah.
I'll start picking up their feet from day one, and I'll only do it once on each foot, but you can start from when they're that small and that size, and it's easy for them to learn it from that age. And
he's 6 months old now?
He's 6 months old, and once you've got them a little older, you can handle them for longer, but even so, you don't want to do longer than 20-25-minute sessions, just because they don't have the attention span to be able to learn for long periods of time. If you want to work with them, for a long period of time, split it up, so you've got maybe a morning session, an afternoon session.
He's okay with the standing and petting right now.
Yeah.
That's always an okay time.
Oh, yeah.
And he's 12.2 hands already?
12.3 hands.
12.3 hands.
Very tall for a 6-month-old. It's a Tucker baby. And honestly, we like to have high expectations for our foals and how well behaved they are from a young age. And if they're looking for leadership, if you give them guidelines from a young age, then they will be well behaved. There's some 6-month-olds who wouldn't be able to stand still for this long, and he knows that's what I expect of him right now. So we figured we'd show a few things that Mr. Ace here knows. I'd say he's pretty much finished as far as babies go. He knows all the things that a baby should know. I'll start halter breaking them around 2 months old or so. Some people don't start them until they're 6 months old. But if you look and see how big this 6-month-old is, it's much better to start at a young age. And as long as you do short sessions and you're not yanking on them a lot, then they'll be fine. They can learn it at that young of an age, but you just do short sessions. And they build over time. They shouldn't be passing you, shouldn't be doing anything stupid. You go to turn, he'll move his hindquarters over and get out of my way.
How do you teach them that? Is that hard to do?
Basically, just when they go, if you weren't to move it, start putting some pressure on them. And even with, I can take a crop and tap him in different areas and ask him to move away from it.
But you're not hitting them or anything. You're just creating a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, just creating a little bit of motion, which creates energy.
Are you pulling on his head when you're doing that?
Slightly, yeah.
Okay.
And then one of the big problems I see, especially with some of the jumper horses and whatnot, is when you go to, if you're walking your horse and you go to turn to the right, see how he's moving away from me? Stop there. You shouldn't have to get up in their space to get them to make a right turn as you're walking.
That's cool.
And I see a lot of horses where you're trying to turn and you get to this point and their head's still in your way and you have to shove on their head. They should be already moving out of your way and being respectful. They should be respecting your personal space.
Now, how do you teach them that? Same way as the other deal, or?
But this time you're putting pressure on the head.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll create some motion. And motion is like energy to the horse. And then I lessen it and stop when he's doing what I ask. And granted, you might end up having to tap their cheek. He already knows what he's doing. When you're first starting, you might have to tap on their cheek to get that movement. And it's not about hitting them. It's just, you're creating some energy there and saying, hey, I need you to move your feet, move your head. And, once they give you a little bit, then you release, and that's how they learn, and you can slowly...
You always want to release the pressure. That's what a lot of people don't do. It's a constant... And when we say pressure, it's a light pressure. You're not pushing on them or doing anything...
Exactly. You always want to start with the lightest pressure possible,
right?
Because that's what teaches them to be light.
Yeah.
You start off with something hard, then all you're going to have is a horse that's hard to work with.
Yeah.
Other things we work on, and as you can see, he knows that if I haven't asked him for anything, he should keep his feet still. If they're trying to run around all the time, just every time they try to move without permission, you correct them, back them up, make them stop, that kind of thing. Boy.
The Pearly people do a little of that. We don't spend a whole lot of time with a bunch of that, but it is nice to have them move backwards.
Yeah, to be able to get out
easily.
Of your seats without you having to get on top of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that babies this young, can't know a lot, but they really can. As long as you're not overdoing it by trying to do hour-long sessions with them, they can learn a lot at this age.
They're probably like with kids. They say their highest IQ is a 2 to 4 year old child's got the highest IQ in the room, and the ability to intake information, which I think is true for the babies.
And
as well.
you can they'll learn a lot in 10-minute sessions. The babies will, because they do pick it up really fast, as long as you're doing it right.
If you're making your horse worse, stop doing what you're doing. Take him to a trainer. If you're making him better, keep doing what you're doing. That's our simple logic formula.
Even there, he tried to walk off. I hadn't asked him to.
Yeah.
I just backed him up, and now he's good. Other things we'll work on is general desensitization.
Sporty, stop. We got a dog in the tank. Yeah.
It's good to do all this kind of stuff with them and see. We haven't done this recently, so he's a little worried. I'll just keep doing it until he relaxes.
So anything they don't like, you keep doing and make it relaxing. And you want to do this in a rhythmical motion. You're not trying to hit them or scare them. You're doing a rhythmical. Why are things always rhythmical with horses? I've always kind of wondered that. I know it's important, but I don't know the reasoning behind it.
With that, it's more about you're not trying to startle them. There are certain things under saddle that you don't want rhythmical, because they'll actually be desensitized to it. So the rhythmical, it's desensitizing them. Some things under saddle, you don't want it that way because you want them listening to the cue. This is about keeping his feet still despite what's going on.
So basically, as a foal, you're teaching them to always being still is what we want. Because we have the motto, you can always get a horse to go, but you can't always get them to stop and stand still. So when in doubt, revert to stopping and standing is what we're always teaching them, even under saddle for the most part, right?
Yep. You always want to be able to get them back to this relaxed phase. Obviously, like I said, I start picking up their feet at day one. If he were to start trying to pull his foot away from me, I just hold on to it till he relaxed, and then I'd give him his foot back.
And you're not trying to aggravate the horse or anything. In fact, you want them to keep them calm and gentle and happy. And so, you're not holding up the foot for 10 minutes or something. Just whenever they're relaxed, you put it back down.
Yep.
So.
Actually, and another good thing, he hasn't had his first turn yet. He's about to. And so what I've already started doing at this age is some of the barrier things that will be necessary for later. You haven't done this
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And bring it forward, put it on your knees, depending on the barrier uses, a stand or their leg, do it like that, bring it back, put it between your front legs, the way the barrier would, you can use that. In front of my rope for that.
Is that the first time you've done that?
No, but it's been a while. We've only worked on this once before.
So see how he's kind of trying to move away, so she just keeps doing it. Not in an angry, you're never angry or aggressive with them. In fact, you have to always remain calm.
And I just waited, let him relax.
There you go.
Right now he's relaxed, so I'll let him have his foot back.
If you start to get angry or upset, just make them do one thing right, take one step backwards, and stop.
Yep.
Stop doing what you're doing.
End on a good note. They will remember what you ended on.
Yeah.
So the hind foot, can you see from there?
There we go.
Hind foot, you can also bring it forward.
You had to put on the little stand.
Yep, put it on the stand.
Sorry, it's got a little darker. The cloud
Start
went
doing
over.
that stuff at a young age. It'll really help the barrier out when they go and start doing their rhythm.
And babies are not a trained horse. Anytime you're handling any age or level of horse, you're training them something, either good or bad. But with babies in particular, I think you kind of need to know what you're doing, don't you think?
Yeah. Really, you're building the foundation on the baby that's going to serve them for the rest of their life. If you teach them poorly, that's all they know for the rest of their life because that's what they started on.
And that makes it nearly impossible to fix.
Yep.
We'd rather train an untrained 2-year-old that's never been touched than one that's been mishandled in any way, because it can be unfixable.
Yep.
So.
And if you can give them a great foundation as a baby, they're 10 times easier to start under saddle.
Because they already trust people, they already
trust people. They know how to be calm and relaxed around people, and they know how to learn. They're used to learning with people, and that there's a purpose to whatever we're doing, and that if they stay relaxed, you'll show them the way of what you need done.
Katie, you're one great baby trainer. You're a great horse trainer, but
The babies are my favorite.
I know, which is unusual. Most people prefer just the trained horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie goes through all the actual work to get them there.
Yep.
So
Never hurts to lay all over babies at a young age. I do this from the day they hit the ground. I'll start laying my body over, not putting weight on them, but
yeah.
just having that motion of, hey, there's something up there that's
Mhm.
behind my eyes that I can't see super well.
And see how he's a little kind of moving. He's not sure what to do, so she just keeps doing it. Just because they don't like it, you don't immediately stop, because then they learn that if they move away, you're going to stop. And you want them
He
to.
stood still and relaxed, so I stopped.
Yeah.
I took away the pressure,
Right.
and that was his reward.
It's always about pressure release and reward. So,
And this time he's all good.
yeah. Thanks. It's awesome.
And the more relaxed you can keep things, the better they'll learn.
Yeah.
They don't learn very well when they're scared.
Yeah. And if you get angry or upset, they sense that. They're very intuitive.
Very.
Yeah. Thanks, Katie. And there's more videos at txmft.com. I'm going to put up some harnessing videos as well that I used to charge for, but I'm just going to put them free on the website. One of them's already up there. The other one I'm putting up tonight. Anyway, y'all have a good day.
Better not stop them 'cause they're coming through.
Right now it's time to sing out the dance.
The lyrics will flow, yo, for the words I speak. Rap is weak, so I teach and I reach. A positive vibe, a way of life is how I'm living. So get hyped to the rhythm. KLF is the crew you hear, yeah. Design a rhyme I just won't fear. Back to react, enough is enough. Let me ask you a question.